Welcome to this month's Coffee Talk with Nico. We're going to be talking about using Chat GPT for small business marketing. And as I was saying, you remember when you tried Google for the first time and all the information that it gave you, and you were so excited to use it. And you had everything in the palm of your hands. We were onto something incredible, and we actually grew as humans using these programs. The conversation I'm hearing about Chat GPT is that it's so smart that it's going to replace you, and it's not. Nobody is replaceable because we are all unique individuals. It is another leap into a different stratosphere, and we will learn how to use it as a tool. And that's my goal here today, is to do that. So I'm excited to do that. And so just why am I talking to you? I am the owner of Skywriting by Nico, which is Maui's marketing company.com. I am a marketing project management specialist, and I love my job. So I'm a co-organizer for Maui Business Brainstormers, co-founder of Maui Social Media School, and a Maui Native Hawaiian Chamber of Commerce board member. And I'm getting re-upped on the 29th of that. So I'm excited about that. I love that group so much. So I want to give you a little platform history because you need to know how fast this thing is moving. So Netflix took 3.5 years to reach 1 million users. Facebook took 10 months. Instagram blew us away with 2.5 months. And then came Chat GPT. It launched in November 22, and it took 5 days to reach 1 million people. That is huge, and it's so fast, and it's kind of crazy. Here's a different preview of that. Seeing all of the very large platforms that you use on a regular basis, Chat GPT is jamming, and it's going crazy, and it's kind of fun. Kind of fun in the cowboy, it's crazy like cowboy days, but for the internet, it's just like things are flying. And I love that. I think it's really cool. So what implications does it have for marketing for small businesses in particular? We are going to go over a lot of that today. We want to simplify this program. We want you to know, I want you to know what it is and how it works. Keeping limitations in mind, and I'm going to keep reminding you of the limitations because if you were to use any of this verbatim, you might be using the wrong information. Some practical ways to use it for small business marketing, and some ways not to use it because you need to know how to use it if you're going to use it. So the difference of Google and ChatGPT is when you try to get information from Google, you type in a search and out comes a lot of different websites, blog posts, all sorts of things. When you are getting information from Chat GPT, you participate in a dialogue with this program. You ask it questions and it spits out answers based on your input. It basically is a very advanced chatbot, not box. According to its creator, OpenAI, ChatGPT can answer follow-up questions, admits mistakes, challenges incorrect premises, and rejects inappropriate requests. So this program is not a Google program. It is a program all on its own, and it grows with every prompt or every question that you give it. And so I think that's why it's growing so fast. So the other thing that I hear is that it can do a lot. Someone asked me to write a grant, and I was like, I don't know how to write a grant. And so I went into Chat GPT and I said, hey, can you write me a grant on? And I told it what I wanted, and it actually wrote a grant. I don't know if it was good or not. I took the format that they used for that grant and filled in my information because I didn't know how to write a grant, but it gave me the actual format to use, and it was really helpful. I did not use that information because it didn't pertain to Maui. We're on, we're in a small space here, and a lot of the stuff that you get is worldly, and so you do have to, as Trisha was saying, you do have to edit big time. But it taught me how to write a grant, and I was like, that's pretty cool. If I wanted to, so I would use the same format that I would use, but probably think a little bit more about it. But how does it work? So Google's tools like Google and Siri source information from the web. Chat GPT has its own brain. As a large language model technology, it amasses large amounts of text data from the internet, from books, articles, websites, blog posts, and more. And the Chat GPT stands for Generative Pre-Training Transformer, meaning it's trained on these large amounts of data. It can generate text similar to human conversation. And that is exactly what it does. It's fascinating, and it's something that, we can possibly use. And looking at the models of what those are. So I don't know what these are. They are bots, but just looking at how quickly this has rolled, we're up to 175 billion queries, which is absolutely incredible. So that's how many queries or prompts people have gotten into this program, that it learns every time. It learns every time you ask it a new question. So what is it used for? Or how can you use it? So since language communication is used in everything, Chat GPT is also proving to be useful in everything. And look at this, writing code, oh my God, articles, stories, and poems. I'm going to tell you a limitation when we get to the bottom of this list. Generate ideas and examples, multiple choice questions, which is fascinating. Recommend products, services, and movies. Explain complicated topics in layman's terms. I love that. Translates text in 95 different languages. Finds data sets and job openings. And I just heard of a guy who was looking for, trying to rent a place on Maui. And he got into Chat GPT and asked him, what other availability or options do I have to find a rental? And it helped him find a rental. So he was trying for 3 months. He went on to Chat GPT and he got it in 3 days. So the questions you ask it, it can actually make a lot of this stuff for you. This list is growing. It's going to keep growing. But I have to say, if you're going to write code or an article or anything like that, you have to remember that this information is from 2021 and before. So if you're writing code, our world goes so fast in IT that it might not be the best code. There's probably something built that's better. So just to give that caveat, I don't know how to write code. And if I were to use anything like that, I would go very beginners instead of trying to do something fantastic, just because it's not my lane. I'm not going to do that. But you can see how much you can use it. I kind of like the products and services also, because if you have a service and you want to see how other people might describe your products or services, Chat GPT is great to take a look and see what other words you can use that might be helpful for you, or, hits the point perfectly. So you could use it for all sorts of things, and I love it. Limitations. Limitations. Warning, warning. It is not a replacement for anything. You can't just use the information. It's not you. So while it's advanced and it's in the early stages, like any computer AI tool or machine learning technology, it does not come with 100% guarantee of information accuracy. Really, Google doesn't either. I mean, I can write a website and I could, debunk all sorts of things that would be popped into your query on Google, and that's not real information. So you just have to make sure that you know what you want to use and what you're trying to get to. Not a marketing consultant, it's not a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or a plumber. Although you can figure out how to do some things, you might want to talk to a professional, even a consultation. So warning, warning, FYI. So it is a computer that can aggregate and summarize data. But other than that, you tell it what you want. So I have the link right here to get to Chat GPT, so you can use that. And I want to talk to you about when you log into Chat GPT, this is the first screen you see. You actually see this, and then on the left-hand side, there is the ability to have all your information, all your prompts are going to show up there. So the examples: explain quantum computing in simple terms. It can. Got any creative ideas for a 10-year-old's birthday? Or how do I make an HTTP request in JavaScript? It can do all of those things. Capabilities. It remembers what user said earlier in the conversation. So if you ask it, got any creative ideas for a 10-year-old's birthday? It'll give you a bunch of information, and you can say, how about a 10-year-old's birthday on Maui? And you dial in and get more information that's going to be more specific for you, and it remembers conversations. So it will go back and forth with you, and it's incredible. Allows users to provide follow-up corrections, and it's trained to decline inappropriate requests, which I think is funny. Limitations: may occasionally generate incorrect information, may occasionally produce harmful instructions or biased content, has limited knowledge of the world and events after 2021. Please remember that. All right. So it works off of prompts or questions. All right. I want to ask, I'm not sure who is speaking, but if you can put your thing on mute, it would be awesome. So it works off of prompts. It's important to be as specific as possible with your prompts, and then use the responses as starting points. So that's a great idea. And it's something that you should really, if you have a question or you're not sure how to start something, ask Chat GPT and it'll get you started on something. So I think that's how I use it more than anything. It can look into things a little bit deeper for you and explore an item thought process further. Really, really cool. So this is where you would write your prompt. You can ask for it in English. You can ask for the tone. As I said, it could be professional, casual, sassy, stern, however you want. I think it's funny. And then also it could be the style: poetic, descriptive, narrative, expository, and persuasive. And you can upload your content so it understands how you write, and then you can ask it to write like you do. So I'm extremely casual about everything that I do. So I would never go, oh, make it, poetic or make it business-like, because I really don't talk like that. So if you're going to use it, you got to make sure that you are using it to sound at least the tone of what you're using. So again, I want to say it even says itself, may occasionally generate incorrect information, may occasionally produce harmful instructions, and it has limited knowledge of the world's events. Ways to use Chat GPT for marketing and for small business marketing. You've kind of used bots before in the past. If you have ever run a dynamic search and an ad campaign, do anything in Google Ads, using Google Analytics, using AI content to generate marketing copy, then you've actually used bots before. I used to use, I think in 2016, it was my first year of writing out all my classes for the whole year. I thought doing it like that might give me just a guide so I don't have to think of everything, that month. I had a whole month of my topics. So I would go into, I forget what it was called, but I wanted to get class names for these topics. And so I don't even remember the URL that I went to do this, but I went to the URL and I just put in my one class, give me topics, titles for all of these. And so it shot out like 25, 35 different topics, different ways I could present this class with a title. So that was in 2016. So I've been using those things for quite some time, because sometimes like when I'm creating a class and I'm going to be writing a headline, maybe my head isn't quite there yet. So I'm going to say, what else can I use? And something, some platform will give me an idea, and then I'll make my own. So we've been using this stuff for a long time. If you've been using Google, you've been using a bot. That's how it works, but this is just a little bit more intense. It can generate the content, modify existing content for a particular tone, or improve existing content. So I use something called Quillbot, Quilbot. And when I'm writing a paragraph about something, I will take that block of content and I'll pop it in the Quillbot. And I'll say, can you rephrase this? And it rephrases it. And sometimes it's so wrong. Mine is so much better. But there might be one or two things that it has in there that I can pop into my text. So these things are really helpful, especially if you don't have the juice on any particular day. It can actually help you create something. Anytime I do that, I haven't even done that for my website, which I will do just to see if there's a way that I can improve my content. But most of the time I will not use the full content that it does. It's wrong. It just doesn't sound right. And it's kind of funny. So what you can ask it, so this is an actual prompt here, write a promotional email for 50% off customer framing for the month of October. This actually is pretty cool. I don't know who created this prompt and if they used this information at all, but it says, dear valued customer, we hope this email finds you well. With the fall season approaching, there's no better time to showcase your cherished memories with custom framing. That's why we're excited to offer you an exclusive discount of 50% off. This is actually written very well. So could you imagine having it write your emails for you? So I tried it I was doing an ad for a coffee company, and the ad was for chai tea. And whenever I go out and travel or whatever, the drink that I always get at Starbucks is a dirty chai tea, and I'm always embarrassed to order it. But anyway, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this ad with a dirty chai tea, and the information it came back with was a filthy chai tea, which cracked me up so much. It was just so funny. But of course I can't use that. My ad was completely better. And so, yeah, I'm going to go with what I know, but it's so much fun to take a look and see if there is one word or one way that you can just change that a little bit. So, and other ways is you can email copyright tips or a free guide to writing exceptional text and ad copy. You can ask it for anything. Just remember 2021 and back. So we grow so fast online that that's really old information. It can do stuff like this, though. There's another prompt was, what are the best free keyword research tools for small businesses? This query went on like crazy, but I only chose 4 so you could actually see some of them. Keyword Planner, Uber Suggest, Keyword Tool, Google Trends. So these are all programs that you can use for keyword research tools. So, and they're bots also. So you've been using this for a long, long time, but that's one of the prompts that you can use to get more information out of it. And then, as I said, you can post on topics or existing content. You can perform research. Basically, that's what I do a lot of, is I do research. But if you need to write an ebook and you have all the content and you popped it into Chat GPT, it can write and help you write that ebook better. So it's growing and it's amazing. This is one that I don't do formulas for spreadsheets, but if you wanted to learn shortcuts and formulas, you ask for the shortcut for whatever it is, or ask for the formula that you use on Excel, and it'll give it to you. And then all you have to do is pop that code into one of the little boxes on the Excel spreadsheet. Boy, that was hard for me to say. And use it. And then content ideation. So get ideas. Just grab ideas. It's going to be really helpful for you. Whoops, did I go backwards? I'm sorry. I think I went backwards. Another thing you can do is generate survey questions. And this is awesome because sometimes you just don't know the questions to ask. So you can say the prompt, generate a customer feedback survey for a brand, a service, whatever it is you're doing, and it'll give you questions that you can use, rearrange to make it more like you. But it's great for it's an idea gold mine, and I think that's really important. But you just have to remember that when you are using it, you have to keep in mind that it's information from 2021 and back. We have grown leaps and bounds in the last 2 years. Just consider all of us sitting at home in 2020 and part of 2021, and all the people using their computer and gaining information and growing. And this is what this is all about. You can ask it for marketing strategy recommendations, but they're old. You can use it for keyword search, but it's old. You can use it for web development and, as I said, writing code, but it's old. So you just have to remember that this is older information. It's just ideas. It's just things that you want to embellish on, grab words, grab a phrase, use something that's going to enhance what it is you already have, instead of having it think for you, because it's not you. It's whoever wrote this dang program. So anyway, I love it and I'm pretty excited about it. And I hope that you will be able to use it because it's pretty darn cool. So I'm going to stop sharing right now and see if you guys have any questions. I'm not going to go live today just because it can, we're already at 9:27. And so that would take a while for me to get to it. But I want to ask you guys if you have any questions. That's awesome. If you don't have any questions, that's very cool. And that's okay. I hope I gave you what it is that you needed. And I hope that you can go on there and play with it a little bit more, because it's very cool. So what we're doing in our next coffee talk, it's the third Friday. It's at 9 a.m. You can use this login for everything. I never changed the Zoom link, so you can reuse that. But it's networking to grow your brand. So networking is one of my favorite things to do. And now that we're able to go out and about, I feel like whole again, rather than just talking to a box. But this is exciting for me, and we're going to talk about organizing your outings when you go out. If someone asks you what you do for a living, you're going to have answers. Connect with leaders, volunteer, and sponsor events. Things like that is going over. Oh, Aisha, she just missed the whole thing. Welcome, Aisha. We're finishing up right now. But I will share, I promise, I will share the link with you because we recorded this. So if you want to connect with me in any way, you can get me at mauismarketingcompany.com, on social, on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. I have all of my coffee talks, so you can take a look at all those. And then I also have my website now. So anyway, I totally appreciate y'all coming with me here today and sharing the ride. And I just love this stuff. So if you do have any questions and you were too embarrassed to or didn't, just email me, text me, do whatever, and then we can talk. Oh, that's a cool feeling. We're so funny, aren't we? All right, so I'm going to stop recording right now.